The ancient Greeks believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses who inhabited a realm above the mortal world. These deities were believed to have control over various aspects of nature and human affairs, and they were often depicted in art and literature as being larger than life and possessing superhuman powers. There were 12 main gods and goddesses in the Greek pantheon, known as the Olympians. These deities were considered the most powerful and important of all the gods and goddesses, and they were said to reside on Mount Olympus, the highest peak in Greece. The Olympians were led by Zeus, the king of the gods, and included his siblings and children, such as Poseidon, Hades, Athena, Apollo, and Artemis. Zeus was the god of the sky and thunder, and he was considered the most powerful of all the gods. He was often depicted as a powerful man with a beard and flowing robes, holding a lightning bolt in his hand. Zeus was married to his sister, Hera, the goddess of marriage and childbirth. Poseidon was the god of the sea and earthquakes. He was often depicted as a strong and muscular man with a trident in his hand, riding on the back of a sea monster. Poseidon was considered the ruler of the oceans and all the creatures that lived within them. Hades was the god of the underworld, where the souls of the dead went after they passed away. He was often depicted as a dark and brooding figure, carrying a staff and wearing a helmet that made him invisible. Hades was the brother of Zeus and Poseidon, and he was feared and respected by the other gods and mortals alike. Athena was the goddess of wisdom, war, and crafts. She was often depicted as a beautiful and fierce warrior, wearing a helmet and carrying a shield and spear. Athena was considered the patron goddess of the city of Athens, and she was revered for her intelligence and strategic thinking. Apollo was the god of the sun, music, poetry, and prophecy. He was often depicted as a handsome young man with golden hair and a lyre in his hand. Apollo was considered the god of light and truth, and he was associated with the arts and intellectual pursuits. Artemis was the goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the wilderness. She was often depicted as a beautiful and athletic young woman, carrying a bow and arrow and accompanied by a pack of hunting dogs. Artemis was considered the protector of animals and the natural world, and she was revered for her strength and courage. Other important Olympians included Demeter, the goddess of agriculture and fertility, Hermes, the messenger god and patron of travelers, Dionysus, the god of wine and celebration, and Hestia, the goddess of the hearth and home. The Greek gods and goddesses were thought to be immortal and unchanging, and they were believed to possess a range of superhuman powers. They were often depicted in art and literature as engaging in battles and struggles with each other and with mortal beings, and their actions were thought to have a direct impact on the lives of humans. Despite their godlike powers, the Greek gods and goddesses were also thought to have human-like emotions and weaknesses. They were often depicted as being jealous, vengeful, and prone to fits of anger, and they were known to interfere in the lives of mortals in order to further their own goals and desires. Overall, the Greek pantheon of gods and goddesses played a central role in the religion and culture of ancient Greece, and their stories and deeds continue to fascinate and inspire people around the world. The 12 main Olympian gods and goddesses were considered the most powerful and important deities in the Greek pantheon, and their stories and legends continue to be studied and celebrated to this day. Although the ancient Greeks no longer worship these gods, their influence can still be seen in many aspects of modern culture, from literature and art to philosophy and science.